Canada, our neighbors to the north, just issued a travel advisory to the United States over LGBTQ rights. The Department of Global Affairs in Canada said some states have enacted laws and policies that may affect 2S LGBTQ. If you're wondering what 2S is, it refers to a person who is two-spirited, which is a common belief among Indigenous people. So you learn something new every day. Welcome to the program. There are perhaps problems for members of the LGBTQ community in the United States. Hate crimes against members of that community rose 11% in the last year. But Canada might want to look at its own crime statistics. We did, to be fair. In that same time period, crimes against LGBTQ people in Canada rose 27%, more than double the rise in the United States. So there might be more to this. Joining us now, Isaac School, staff writer at Mediaite. Isaac, it's good to see you. There's got to be something more going on in this. I mean, it's just virtue signaling, right?
Yeah, I think this is a great example of the progressive instinct to avoid uncomfortable debates. Instead of engaging in a conversation, there's a rush to get some kind of official body to label a certain viewpoint or policy or group harmful so as to ally the merits. If you go to the Canadian government website where there's an advisories housed, there's not a specific law or even a specific state named. It just asks the reader to take for granted that there are these harmful laws that could affect the LGBT community here. And I think that lack of specificity is telling.
Right. It's sort of performative, right? It's like the NAACP warning about going to Florida and on and on and on. It's much more about the person who's giving the warning and sort of the point they want to make, and actually protecting the people who would potentially be harmful. Look, Canadians make up 27% of the 62.8 million inbound foreign tourists who visit the U.S. each year. They spend a lot of money here, on and on and on. And look, it's important to try and protect tourism and revenue, and we've seen what's happened in blue states or progressive cities that have lost that. I'm wondering, though, specifically about Justin Trudeau, right, who has had such a checkered past himself on these issues, caught wearing blackface. This is a guy who praised Fidel Castro, was a larger-than-life leader who served his people for almost half a century, a legendary revolutionary and orator. Mr. Castro made significant improvements to the education and healthcare of his island nation, and missed out while 50 years of tyrannical regimes and torture and executions and on and on and on. Somehow Justin Trudeau left that out. What do you think Justin Trudeau's end game here is?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's trying to distract from his own poor record in Canada. And I mean, if we were going to put the shoe on the other foot, I mean, the U.S. could easily issue a similar advisory for those suffering from depression or other serious mental illnesses based on Canada's own very permissive assisted suicide laws, which have gotten a lot of attention across the globe, really. I mean, but I'd argue that we shouldn't do that. What we should actually do is have an actual argument about the merits of that policy.
All right. Hey, pretty interesting conversation, Isaac. Thank you. We're glad you're feeling better. And now it's me with the allergy, so I can barely talk. But thank you for carrying the segment, my friend. We'll talk soon.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.